Good evening and welcome to the Iron First Community Theater. We are a nonprofit organization. We appreciate you being here to support our 2024 season. If this is your first time here, I want to let you know that we have a restroom on the first floor and another on the second floor. Snacks and drinks can be found at our concession stand on the second floor, and you are permitted to eat and drink in the theater. Tonight we will have a 15-minute intermission. Before we get started, I would like to say if you haven't already done so, please join our mailing list. If you would like to get notified of our upcoming plays, programs, and events, there's a sign-up area at the front desk in the lobby, and there's also a QR code, which is right here, and it's also up front in the lobby. The Iron Horse Theater Company performs 4 plays every year. Today we will be presenting a play called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. In December, we will finish our season with a holiday celebration. It is a musical sing-along in a series of 3 holiday one-act plays, The Gift of the Magi, The First Night of Hanukkah, and Starman Wish Me Luck. If you are interested, we do sell season event passes, and they could be used as a birthday or holiday gift. So now it is time for you to silence your cell phones, sit back, and enjoy The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Holy fuck, what have you done? Oh, no. Oh, my fucking Christ.
It was 7 minutes after midnight. The dog was lying on the grass in the middle of the lawn in front of Mrs. Shears's house. Its eyes were closed. It looks as if it was running on its side, the way that dogs run when they think they're chasing a cat in a dream. But the dog was not running or asleep. The dog was dead.
Get away from my dog.
There was a garden fork sticking out of the dog. The dog was called Wellington. He belonged to Mrs. Shears, who was our friend. She lived on the opposite side of the road, 2 houses to the left.
Get away from my dog.
My name is Christopher John Francis Boone. I live at 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire. I know all the countries of the world and capital cities and every prime number up to 7,507.
Get away from my dog, for Christ's sake!
After 12.5 minutes, a policeman arrived. He had a big orange leaf stuck to the bottom of his shoe, which was poking out from one side. This is good, Christopher. It's quite exciting. I like the details. They make it more realistic. He squatted down next to me. He said to me,
You'd like to tell me what's going on here, young man?
I do not tell lies. Mother used to say that this was because I'm a good person. But it's not because I'm a good person. It's because I can't tell lies.
The dog is dead.
I got that far.
I think someone killed the dog.
How old are you?
I'm 15 years and 3 months and 2 days.
What were you doing in the garden?
I'm talking to you.
What were you doing in the garden in the first place?
I was holding the dog.
Why were you holding the dog?
I like dogs.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the dog.
You seem very upset about this. I'm going to ask you once again. Young man, I'm going to have to ask you to stop making that noise. Marvelous. Great, just slipping. Oh, I'm arresting you for this whole police officer. And if you try doing that monkey business again, you stupid idiot, I'm seriously going to lose my shit. Is that understood?
I find people confusing. This is for 2 main reasons. The first main reason is that people do a lot of talking without using any words. Siobhan says that if you raise one eyebrow like this, it can mean lots of different things. It can mean, I want to do sex with you. I never said that!
Yes, you did.
I didn't use those words, Christopher!
You did. On September 12th last year at first break.
And it can also mean, I think that what you've just said is very stupid.
Could you empty your pockets onto the desk, please?
Is that in case I have anything in them that I could use to kill myself or escape or attack a policeman with.
That's right.
'47, this was made up of a £1 coin, a 20p coin, two 10p coins, a 5p coin, and a 2p coin.
A red paper clip.
A key for the front door.
A Swiss Army knife with 13 attachments, including wire strippers, and a saw, and a toothpick, and tweezers.
Could you take your watch off, please, Christopher?
No,
I'm sorry, Christopher.
I need my watch to know exactly what time it is.
Give it here, lad. All right, son, you keep it. Do you have any family, Christopher?
Yes, I do.
And who is your family?
Father and mother, but mother is dead. And also Uncle Terry, who is in Sunderland. He's my father's brother. And I have grandparents too, but 3 of them are dead. And Grandma Burton lives in a home because she has senile dementia and thinks I'm someone on television.
Right. Lovely. Do you know your father's phone number, Christopher?
I could see the Milky Way as they drove me toward the town centre.
Is that right?
Lots of people think that the Milky Way is a long line of stars, but it isn't. Our galaxy is a huge disk of stars, millions of light years across.
Is that right?
And for a long time, scientists were puzzled by the fact that the sky is dark at night, even though there are billions of stars in the universe.
Oh my.
Christopher, Mr. Boone, could you come this way, please?
Are you going to interview me and record the interviews?
I don't think there will be any need for that. I've spoken to your father, and he says you didn't mean to hit the policeman. Did you mean to hit the policeman?
Yes.
But you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
No, I didn't mean to hurt the policeman, I just wanted him to stop touching me.
You know that it's wrong to hit a policeman, don't you?
I do.
Do you know that it's wrong to lie to a policeman and that you can get into a very great deal of trouble if you do?
Yes.
Did you kill the dog?
I did not kill the dog.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I always tell the truth.
Do you know who killed the dog?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes.
Right. That you hit a policeman, but that it was an accident, and that you didn't mean to hurt the policeman.
But it wasn't an accident.
Christopher, please.
If you get into any more trouble, we will take out this record and see that you have been given a caution, and we will take things much more seriously. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The second main reason I find people confusing is that people often talk using metaphors. These are examples of metaphors.
I am seriously gonna lose my shit.
She was the apple of his eye.
Some people got skeletons in their cupboard.
We had a real pig of a day.
The dog was stone dead.
The word metaphor means carrying something from one place to another, and it's when you describe something by using a word for something that it isn't. This means that the word metaphor is a metaphor. Wow, that's clever.
It's true.
Yes. I think it should be called a lie. Because a pig is not like a day. People do not have skeletons in their cupboards. And when I try to make a picture of the phrase in my head, it just confuses me. Because trying to imagine an apple in someone's eye doesn't have anything to do with liking someone a lot. And it makes you forget what the person was talking about.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't kill Wellington.
I know. Not stay out of trouble, okay, Christopher?
I didn't know I was going to get into trouble. I like Wellington, and I went to say hello to him, but I didn't know that somebody had killed him.
Just keep your nose out of other people's business.
I'm going to try and find out who killed Wellington.
Christopher, were you listening to what I was saying?
Yes, I was listening to what you were saying, but when somebody gets murdered, you have to find out who did it so that they can be punished.
It's a bloody dog, Christopher. A bloody dog.
I think dogs are important too. I think some dogs are cleverer than some people. Nicholas, for example, who comes to school on Thursdays, needs help eating his food, and probably couldn't even fetch a stick. I wonder if the police will find out who did it and punish the person.
I said leave it, for God's sake.
Are you sad about Wellington?
Yes, Christopher, you could say that. You could very well say that.
Mother died 2 years ago. I came home from school one day and nobody answered the door. So I went and found the secret key that we keep underneath a flower pot outside the kitchen window. I let myself into the house and I wiped my feet on the mat. I put the key in the bowl on the table and hung my coat up by the side of the fridge so that I would be ready for school the next day. And I gave 3 pellets of rat food to Toby, who is my pet rat. I made myself a raspberry milkshake and heated it up in the microwave. Then I went upstairs to my bedroom and I turned on my bedroom light and I played 6 games of Tetris and got to level 38, which is my 4th best ever score! An hour later, Father came home from work.
Christopher! Have you seen your mum?
No.
He went downstairs and started making some phone calls. I did not hear what he said, and then he came up to my room and said he had to go out for a while and he wasn't sure how long he would be. He said that if I needed anything, I could call him on his mobile phone. He was away for 2.5 hours. When he came back, I went downstairs.
You're not going to be seeing your mother for a while, I'm afraid.
Why not?
She's had to go into hospital.
Can we visit her?
No,
Why can't we?
she needs some rest. She needs to be on her own.
Is it a psychiatric hospital?
No. It's an ordinary hospital. She has a problem. A problem with her heart.
We'll make her get well card. If I make her get well card, we'll bring it in tomorrow.
How are you today, Christopher?
I'm very well, thank you.
That's good.
Today, on the way to school, we saw 4 red cars in a row.
4?
So today is a good day.
Oh, great. I'm glad.
I've decided I'm going to try to find out who killed Wellington, because a good day is a day for projects and planning things.
Who's Wellington?
Wellington is a dog that used to belong to my neighbour, Mrs. Shears, who was a friend, but he's dead now because somebody killed him by putting a garden fork through him. And I found him, and then policeman thought that I killed him, but I hadn't. And so he tried to touch me, and then I hit him, and I had to go to the police station.
Gosh.
So I'm going to try and find out who killed Wellington, and make it a project. Even though Father told me not to.
Did he?
Yes,
I see.
we don't always do what I'm told,
Why not?
because when people tell you what to do, it is usually confusing and does not make sense. For example, people often say, be quiet, but they don't tell you how long to be quiet for.
No. Why did your father tell you not to try to find out who killed Wellington?
I don't know.
If your father's told you not to do something, maybe you shouldn't do it. Well, we're meant to be writing stories today, so why don't you write about what happened to Wellington?
Okay, I will.
Christopher, I'm sorry. Your mother's died. She's had a heart attack. It wasn't expected.
What kind of heart attack?
I don't know what kind of heart attack. Now is not the moment, Christopher, to be asking questions like that.
It was probably an aneurysm.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I'm really sorry.
Later that evening, I went round to Mrs. Shears's house and I knocked on her door and waited for her to answer it.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to come and tell you that I didn't kill Wellington, and that I'm trying to find out who did kill him.
Christopher, I really don't think I want to see you right now.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
If you don't go now, I will call the police again.
Reverend Peters. Where are 7?
Sorry, Christopher?
Whereabouts in our universe is it exactly?
Well, it's not in our universe, Christopher. Heaven's another kind of place altogether.
But there isn't anything outside our universe, Reverend Peters. There isn't another kind of place altogether. Except there might be if you go through a black hole, but a black hole is what is called a singularity, which means nobody can find out what's on the other side of it because the gravity of a black hole is so big that even electromagnetic waves like light can't get out of it, and electromagnetic waves are how we get information about things which are far away. Also, if heaven was on the other side of a black hole, then dead people would have to be fired on a rocket to get there, and they aren't, or people will notice.
Well, I suppose when I say heaven's not in our universe, it's just a manner of speaking. What I mean to say is that they're with God.
But where is God?
Christopher, let's talk about this on another day. Can I have more time?
The next day was Saturday. There's not much to do on a Saturday unless Father takes me on an outing to the boating lake or to the garden centre. But on this Saturday, England were playing Romania football, which meant that we weren't going to go on an outing because Father wanted to watch the match on television. So I made a decision. I decided to do some more detection. I decided to go out on my own. I do not like strangers, so talking to the other people in our street was brave. But if you're going to do detective work, you have to be brave. So, I had no choice.
Can I help you?
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Who are you?
I'm Christopher Boone from number 36, and I know you. You're Mr. Thompson.
I'm Mr. Thompson's brother.
Do you know who killed Wellington?
Bloody hell, it's Wellington.
Wellington is Mrs. Shears's dog. Mrs. Shears is at number 39.
Somebody killed the Mrs. Shears' dog?
With a fork.
Jesus Christ.
A garden fork.
Oh.
Do you know who killed him?
I haven't a bloody clue.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening?
Look, son, you think you should go around asking questions like that?
Yes, I do, because I'm trying to find out who killed Wellington, and I'm writing a book about it.
Well, I was on Cook this year on Thursday, so you're asking the wrong bloke.
Thank you for helping with my investigation.
Oh, it's Christopher, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Do you know who killed Wellington?
No. No, I don't. Sorry.
Did you see anything suspicious on Thursday evening which might be a clue?
Like what?
Like strangers or the sound of people arguing?
Perhaps you should talk to your father about this.
I can't talk to my father about it because he told me to stay out of other people's business.
Well, maybe he has a point, Christopher.
So, you don't know anything which might be a clue?
No, I don't. You be careful, young man.
I will be. Thank you for helping with my investigation. Do you know who killed Wellington?
Bloody hell. Policemen really are getting younger, aren't they?
2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67, 71, 73, 79, 83, 89, 97. Do you know anything about Wellington getting killed?
I heard about it yesterday. Dreadful, dreadful.
Do you know who killed him?
No, I don't.
Somebody must know, because the person who killed Wellington knows that they killed Wellington, unless they were a loony person and didn't know what they were doing, or unless they had amnesia.
You're Christopher, aren't you?
Yes, I live at number 36.
We haven't talked before, have we?
No, I don't talk to strangers, but I'm doing detective work.
I see you every day going to school in your school bus when I'm walking my dog. It's nice of you to come by and say hello, even if it's only because you're doing detective work.
Thank you.
I have a grandson your age.
My age is 15 years and 3 months and 3 days.
Oh, well, almost your age. You don't have a dog, do you?
No,
You'd probably like a dog, wouldn't you?
I have a rat.
A rat? Oh!
He's called Toby.
Oh!
Most people don't like rats because they think they carry strange diseases like bubonic plague, but that's only because they lived in sewers and stowed away on ships coming from foreign countries which had strange diseases, but rats are very clean.
Do you want to come in for tea?
I don't go into other people's houses.
Well, maybe I could bring some tea out here. Do you like lemonade?
I only like orangeade.
Well, luckily I have some of that as well. And what about Battenberg?
I don't know because I don't know what Battenberg is.
It's a type of cake. It has marzipan icing round the edge.
Is it a long cake with a square cross-section that can be divided into equally sized alternately coloured squares?
Yes, I think you could probably describe it like that.
I think I'd like the pink squares, but not the yellow squares because I don't like yellow. And I don't know what marzipan is, so I don't know whether I like that.
I'm afraid marzipan is yellow too. Perhaps I should bring out some cookies instead. Do you like cookies?
Yes, some sorts of cookies.
I'll get a selection.
She moved very slowly because she was an old lady. And she was inside the house for more than 6 minutes. And I began to get nervous because I didn't know her well enough to know if she was telling the truth about getting ordained in Battenberg. And I thought she might be ringing the police and I would get in much more serious trouble because of the caution. So I walked away.
Why would you kill a dog?
I wouldn't.
I think you would only kill a dog if A, you hated the dog, B, you were a lunatic, or C, you wanted to make Mrs. Shears sad. I didn't know anybody who hated Wellington, so if it was A, it was probably a stranger. And I don't know any lunatics either, so if it was B, it was also probably a stranger.
Right.
But most murders are committed by someone who is known to the victim. In fact, you're most likely to be murdered by a member of your own family on Christmas Day.
Is that a fact?
Yes, actually, it is a fact. Therefore, Wellington was most likely murdered by someone who is known to him. And I only know one person who didn't like Mrs. Shears, and that is Mr. Shears, who divorced Mrs. Shears and went to live somewhere else, and who knew Wellington very well indeed. This means that Mr. Shears is my prime suspect.
Christopher,
I'm going to find out more about Mr. Shears.
Mr. Bone, nobody has ever taken an A-level examination in the school before.
He can be the first then.
I don't know if we have facilities in the school to allow him to do that.
Then get the facilities.
I can't treat Christopher differently to any other student.
Why not?
Well, because then everybody would want to be treated differently.
So?
It would set a precedent. But Christopher could always take his A-levels later, when he's 18, which is after all the age when everyone takes their A-levels.
Christopher is getting a crap enough deal as it is, don't you think? Without you shitting on him from great height as well. Jesus, this is the one thing he's really good at.
We should talk about this later, maybe on our own.
Why? Is there something you're too embarrassed to say in front of Christopher?
No, it's not that.
Say it now then.
If Christopher were to take his A-levels, we would need to have a member of staff, a supervisor, looking after him on his own in a separate room.
Ah, right. They can do it after school. I'll pay for it. Here, 50 quid. Is that enough?
Mr. Boone.
I am not going to take no for an answer. Where have you been?
I have been out.
I've just had a phone call from Mrs. Shears. What the hell were you doing poking around her garden?
I was doing detective work trying to find out who killed Wellington.
How many times have I told you, Christopher, to keep your nose out of other people's business?
I think it was probably Mr. Shears who killed Wellington.
I will not have that man's name mentioned in my house.
Why not?
That man is evil.
Does that mean that he might have killed Wellington?
Jesus wept.
No.
Okay, Christopher, I'm going to tell you this one last and final time. I'm not going to say it again. Look at me when I'm talking to you, for God's sake, look at me. You're not to go around asking Mrs. Shears who killed that bloody dog. You're not to go around asking anyone who killed that bloody dog. You're not to go trespassing on other people's gardens. You're to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game right now. I'm going to make you promise me, Christopher. And you know what it means when I make you promise.
I think I would make a very good astronaut.
Yes, mate, I suppose you would.
To be a good astronaut, you have to be intelligent, and I'm intelligent. You also have to be good at understanding how machines work, and I'm good at understanding how machines work.
You also have to be someone who wouldn't mind being on a tiny spacecraft thousands and thousands of miles away from the surface of the Earth and not panic or get claustrophobia or homesick or insane. And I really like little spaces, so long as there's no one in them with me.
I've noticed.
Sometimes when I want to be on my own, I get into the laundry room and I slide in beside the boiler and I pull the door closed behind me and I sit and I think for hours. And it makes me feel very calm.
So I would have to be an astronaut on my own or have my own special part of the spacecraft that no one else could come into. And there are no yellow things or brown things on a spacecraft, so that would be okay too. And I would have to talk to other people from mission control, but we would do that through a TV monitor and a radio link-up, so it wouldn't be like real people who are strangers, but like playing a computer game.
Which you like.
Also, I wouldn't be homesick at all, because I'd be surrounded by lots of things that I like, which are machines and computers and outer space. And I could look out of the tiny window of the spacecraft and know that there was no one near me for thousands and thousands
Christopher!
What?
Could you please just give it a bit of a rest, mate? Please.
And know that there was no one else near me for thousands and thousands of miles, which is what I sometimes pretend at night in the summer when I go and lie on the lawn and I look up at the sky. And I put my hands around the sides of my face like this so that I can't see the fence or the chimney or the clothesline. And I can pretend that I'm in space. And all I could see would be stars. And stars are the places where all the molecules that life is made of were formed billions of years ago. For example, all of the iron in your blood, which stops you from being anemic, that was made in a star! And I would like it if I could take Toby with me into space, and that might be allowed because they do sometimes take animals into space for experiments. So if I could think of a good experiment that had to do with a rat that didn't hurt the rat, I could make them let me take Toby! But even if they didn't let me, I would still go, because it would be a dream come true!
Father said.
I see. That's a pity.
So, the book is finished.
Christopher, If your father said you should stop doing something, I think he probably has a good reason, and I think you should stop. But you can still be very proud, because what you've written so far is... it's great.
It's not a proper book.
Why not?
It doesn't have a proper ending. I never found out who killed Wellington, so the murderer is still at large.
Not all murders are solved. Not all murderers are caught.
Father said never to mention Mr. Shears' name in our house again, and that he was an evil man, and maybe that meant that he killed Wellington.
Christopher, I think you should do what your father tells you to do.
What happened to you the other day? I came out again and you'd gone. I had to eat all the biscuits myself. I was looking forward to our little chat.
I do chat and I don't like it.
No, I don't suppose you do. Do you like computers?
Yes, I like computers. I have a computer in my room.
I know. I can see you sitting at your computer in your bedroom sometimes when I look across the street.
Also, I like maths and looking after Toby and being on my own and outer space.
I'll bet you're very good at maths.
I am. I'm going to take my maths A-level next month and I'm going to get an A-star.
Really? A-level maths?
I'm the first person at my school to take A-level maths because it's a special school. All the other children at my school are stupid. Except I'm not meant to call them that, even though that is what they are.
Well, I am very impressed. And I hope that you do get an A-star.
I will.
And the other thing I know about you is your favorite color is not yellow.
No, and it's not brown either. My favorite color is red and metal color. Do you know anything about Mr. Shears?
Not really, no. I mean, I knew him well enough to say hello, but I didn't really know much about him. I think he worked in the National Westminster Bank in town.
Father said that he's an evil man. Do you know why he said that?
Perhaps it would be best not to talk about these things, Christopher.
Why not?
Because maybe your father is right, and you shouldn't go around asking questions about this.
Why?
Yeah, because obviously he's going to find it quite upsetting.
Why is he going to find it quite upsetting?
I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much.
Did Mr. Shears kill Mother?
Kill her?
Yes, did he kill Mother?
No. Of course he didn't kill your mother.
Or did he give her stress enough so that she had a heart attack?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about, Christopher.
Or did he hurt her so that she had to go into hospital?
Did she have to go into hospital?
Yes. And it wasn't very serious at first, but while she was in hospital, she had a heart attack.
Oh my goodness.
And she died.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Christopher. I am so sorry. I never realized.
Why did you say, I think you know why your father doesn't like Mr. Shears very much?
Oh dear. Dear. Christopher, look. Perhaps we should take a little walk in the park together. This isn't the place to be talking about this kind of thing. I'm going to say something to you, and you must promise not to tell your father that I told you this.
Why not?
Christopher, please, just trust me.
I promise.
Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears.
I know.
No, Christopher, I'm not sure that you do. I mean that they were very good friends. Very, very good friends.
Do you mean that they were doing sex?
Yes, Christopher. That is what I mean. I'm sorry, Christopher. I really didn't mean to say anything that was going to upset you.
Is that why Mr. Shears left Mrs. Shears? Because he was doing sex with somebody else while he was still married to Mrs. Shears?
Yes, I expect so.
I think I should go now.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I can't be on my own with you because you are a stranger.
I'm not a stranger, Christopher. I am a friend.
Have you told your father about this?
No,
Are you going to tell your father about this?
no.
Did it make you sad to find this out?
Find what out?
Did it make you sad to find out that your mother and Mr. Shears were having an affair?
No.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes, I always tell the truth. It didn't make me feel sad because Mother is dead, so I would be feeling sad about something that isn't real and doesn't exist, and that would be stupid.
What was your mother like? Do you remember much about her?
I remember the 20th of July 2008. I was 9 years old. It was a Sunday. We were on holiday in Cornwall at a beach in a place called Polperrow, and Mother was wearing a pair of shorts made out of denim and stripy blue swimming costume, and she was smoking a pack of menthol cigarettes which were mint flavour, and she wasn't swimming, she was sunbathing on a towel which had red and purple stripes, and she was reading a book by Georgette Heyer called The Masqueraders, and then she finished sunbathing and she went into the water and she said,
"Bloody Nora, it's cold!"
"Bloody Nora, it's cold." And she said that I should come and swim too, but I didn't like swimming because I don't like taking my clothes off. So she said that I should just roll my trousers up a bit and walk into the water away. So I did.
Christopher, look, it's lovely.
And she jumped backwards and disappeared under the water, and I thought a shark had eaten her, and I screamed. And she stood up out of the water and came over to where I was standing, and she held up her right hand and spread her fingers out like a fan.
Come on, Christopher. Touch my hand. Come on now. Stop screaming. Touch my hand. Listen to me, Christopher. You can do it. It's okay, Christopher. It's okay. There aren't any sharks in Cornwall.
When we were inside the park, Mrs. Alexander stopped walking and said, "I'm going to say something and you must promise not to tell your father I told you this. Your mother, before she died, was very good friends with Mr. Shears."
And other times she used to say,
If I hadn't married your father, I think I'd be living in a little farmhouse in the south of France with someone named Jean. And he'd be, a local handyman. You know, painting and decorating for people, gardening, building fences. And he'd have a little French bulldog and a veranda with figs growing over it. And a field of sunflowers at the bottom of the garden. And a little town on a hill in the distance. And we'd sit outside every evening and drink red wine and smoke French cigarettes and watch the sun go down.
What is this?
"It is a book, Card Martin."
Is this true? Did you speak with Mrs. Alexander?
"Yes."
Jesus, Christopher, how stupid are you? What did I tell you, Christopher?
Not to mention Mr. Shears' name on our house, and not to go asking Mrs. Shears or anybody about who killed that bloody dog, and not to go trespassing on other people's gardens, and to stop this ridiculous bloody detective game. Except, I haven't done any of those things. I just asked Mrs. Alexander about Mr. Shears because I was doing chatting.
Don't give me that bollocks. You knew exactly what you were bloody doing. I read the book, remember? What else did I say to you, Christopher?
I don't know.
Come on, memory man. Not to go sticking your nose into other people's business. What you do? You go around sticking your nose into other people's business. You go around digging up the past, sharing it with every Tom, Dick, and Harry I bump into. What am I going to do with you, Christopher? What the fuck am I going to do with you?
I was just chatting with Mrs. Alexander. I wasn't doing investigating.
I asked you to do one thing for me,
I was
Christopher.
just chatting.
One
Just her
thing.
wanted to talk to me.
No, hi. I need a drink. I'm sorry I hate you. I didn't mean to. I love you very much, Christopher. Don't ever forget that. It's just that I worry about you because I don't want to see you get into trouble. I don't want to see you get hurt.
Where's my book?
Do you understand that, Christopher? I love you.
Is it in the dustbin at the front of the house?
The next day, when I got home from school, Father was still at work. So I went outside and I looked inside the dustbin. The book wasn't there. I wondered if Father had put it into his van and driven it to the dump and put it in one of those big bins there. But I didn't want that to be true because then I would never see it again. One other possibility was that Father had hidden my book somewhere inside the house. So I decided to do some detecting and see if I could find it. I started by looking in the kitchen. Then I detected in the laundry room. Then I detected in the dining room. Then I detected in the living room where I found the missing wheel to my Airfix Messerschmitt BF109G6 model under the sofa. Then I went upstairs, but I didn't do any detecting in my own room because I reasoned that Father would hide something from me in my own room. Unless he was being very clever and doing something called a double bluff, like in a real murder mystery novel. So I decided to look in my own room only if I couldn't find the book anywhere else. I detected in the bathroom, but the only place to look was inside the medicine cabinet. There was nothing in there. Which meant the only room left to detect in was Father's bedroom. I started by looking under the bed. There were 5 shoes, and a comb with lots of hair in it, and a monkey wrench, and a chocolate chip cookie, and a magazine called Men Only, and a pair of underpants from TJ Maxx with a little bit of pee left in them, and a Scooby-Doo tie, and a wooden spoon, but not my book. Then I looked in the drawers on either side of the dressing table, but these only contained aspirin and nail clippers and batteries and dental floss and tissues and a spare false tooth and a tampon, but my book wasn't in there either. Then I looked inside his wardrobe. In the bottom of the wardrobe was a large plastic toolbox, which was full of tools for DIY, which means doing it yourself. But I could see these without opening the box because it was made of transparent grey plastic. Then I saw that there was another box underneath the toolbox. The other box was an old cardboard box that is called a shirt box because people used to buy shirts in them. And when I opened the shirt box, I saw that my book was inside. Then I heard Father's van pulling up outside the house, and I knew that I had to think fast and be clever. I heard Father shutting the door of the van. And that's when I saw the envelope. It was an envelope addressed to me, and it was lying under my book in a shirt box with some other envelopes. I picked it up. It had never been opened. It said,
Christopher Boone, 36 Randolph Street, Swindon, Wiltshire.
Then I noticed that there were lots of envelopes, and they were all addressed to me. And this was interesting and confusing. And then I noticed how the words Christopher and Swindon were written. They were written like this.
Christopher, Swindon.
I only know 3 people who do little circles instead of dots over the letter I. And one of them is Siobhan, and one of them is Mr. Loxley, who used to teach at the school. And one of them was Mother.
Christopher!
Hello.
What you been up to, young man?
Today we did life skills with Siobhan, which was using money and public transport. And then for lunch I had 3 apples and tomato soup. And then we went for a walk in the park with Mrs. Peters and collected leaves for making collages.
Excellent, excellent. What you fancy for chow tonight?
Baked beans and broccoli.
I think that could very easily be arranged. I'm just going to put those shelves up in the living room, if that's all right with you. Afraid I'm going to be making a bit of a racket, so if you want to watch television, we're going to have to shift it upstairs.
Or you'll go be on my own in my room.
Good man.
So I went into my room. And when I was in the room, I shut the door and I took out the envelope. I opened the envelope. Inside there was a letter. And this was what was written in the letter.
451C Chapter Road, Willesden, London, NW2 5NG 020888878907. Dear Christopher, I was looking through some old photos last night, which made me sad. But then I found a photo of you playing with the train set we bought you a couple of Christmases ago. That made me happy because that was one of those really good times we had together. Do you remember how you used to play with it all day long and refused to go to bed at night because you were still playing with it? We taught you about train timetables, and you made a train timetable, and you made the train run on time. And there was a little one station too. We showed you how people who wanted to go on the train went to the station and bought a ticket and got on a train. And you played with it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I like remembering that a lot. You haven't written to me yet, so I know you're probably still angry with me. I'm sorry, Christopher, but I still love you, and I hope you don't stay angry with me forever. I would love it if you were able to write me a letter. I think about you all the time. Lots of love. Your mum.
I was really confused. Mother had never written me a letter before. And Mother had never lived in London. I looked at the front of the envelope and I saw that there was a postmark and there was a date on the postmark. The 16th of October 2013. Which meant that the letter was posted 18 months after Mother had died. But when I started writing my book, there was only one mystery to solve. And now there were 2. I decided I wouldn't think about it anymore that night because I didn't have enough information and I could easily leap to the wrong conclusions.
Oh, you're soaking.
Yes.
Give me your jacket. I'll hang it up. How was school?
It was good. Joseph Lemon took his trousers off and went to the toilet all over the floor and started to eat it, but Mr. Davis stopped him.
Hello, Mr. Davis, eh?
Joseph eats everything.
Does he?
He once ate one of the hanging blue blocks of disinfectant which hangs inside of the toilet. And he ate a £50 note from his mother's wallet. And he eats string and rubber bands and paints and tissues and writing paper and plastic forks. Also, he bangs his chin and he screams a lot.
I know how he feels. Listen, Christopher, I got to go out.
Why?
I've just had a phone call. There's a lady. Her cellar's flooded. I've got to go out and fix it.
Is it an emergency?
Yes, mate.
It is raining very heavily.
It is.
The rain looks like white sparks.
If I go out, Christopher, are you gonna be okay?
Yes, I will be, because there's nobody about, because everybody is staying indoors.
Good, good, good. Good lad.
I like looking at the rain.
Terrific.
I like it because it reminds me of how all the water in the world is connected.
Does it?
This rain, has evaporated actually from somewhere like the Gulf of Mexico maybe, or Baffin Bay, and now it has fallen out front of my house.
Am I mobile on me?
Yes.
So if there's any trouble, you can give me a call.
Yes.
Behave yourself, Christopher, yeah?
Yeah.
So I went into his room and opened up the wardrobe. And I lifted the toolbox off of the top of the shirt box and I opened the shirt box. I counted out the letters. There were 43 of them, all addressed to me in the same handwriting. I took one and I opened it. Inside was this letter.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG, 0208-887-8907. Dear Christopher, I said I wanted to explain to you why I went away when I had the time to do it properly. Now I have lots of time. So I'm sitting on the sofa here with this letter and the radio on, and I'm going to try and explain. I was not a very good mother, Christopher. Maybe if things had been different, maybe if you'd been different, I might have been better at it. But that's just the way things turned out. I'm not like your father. Your father is a much more patient person. He just gets on with things. And if things upset him, he doesn't let it show. That's not the way I am, and there's nothing I can do to change it. Do you remember once when we went shopping in town together? We went into Bento's and it was really crowded. And we had to get a Christmas present for Grandma. We were frightened because there were so many people in the shop. You crouched down on the floor and put your hands over your ears, and you were in the way of everyone. And I got cross, because I don't like shopping at Christmas either. And I told you to behave, and I tried to pick you up and move you. But you shouted, and you knocked the mixers off the shelf, and there was a big crash. And everyone turned around to see what was going on. And there was boxes and bits of string and bits of broken bowl on the floor, and everyone was staring. I saw that you had wet yourself. And I was so cross. I wanted to take you out of the shop, but you wouldn't let me touch you. So we had to just sit and wait until you stopped screaming. I remember that night, I cried, cried, cried. And your father was really nice about it at first. He said, he made you supper, and put you to bed, and said, these things happen, and be okay. I said I couldn't take it anymore. And he eventually got really angry, and told me I was being stupid, and said I should pull myself together. And I hit him, which was wrong. But I was so upset. We had a lot of arguments like that. And after a while, we stopped talking to each other very much because we knew we would always end up with an argument. I felt really lonely.
And that was when I started spending lots of time with Roger.
And that is when I started spending lots of time with Roger. You might not understand any of this, but I wanted to try and explain so you knew.
We had a lot in common. And then we realized that we were in love with one another.
He said I couldn't leave you, and he was upset about that, but he understood that you were really important to me.
And you started to shout, and I got cross and threw the food across the room, which I know I shouldn't have done.
And you grabbed the chopping board and you threw it, and it hit my foot and broke my toes.
And afterwards at home, your father and I got in a huge argument.
And I couldn't walk properly for a month. Do you remember your father had to look after you?
And I remember looking at the two of you and seeing you together. And thinking how you were really different with him. Much calmer.
It made me sad, because it was like you didn't need me at all.
And I think then I realized that you and your father were probably better off if I wasn't living in the house.
So Roger asked me if I wanted to come with him.
And it broke my heart, but eventually I decided it would be better for all of us if I left.
And so I said yes.
And I meant to say goodbye.
And when I rang your father, he said I couldn't. He was really angry. He said I couldn't.
He said I couldn't talk to you.
I didn't know what to do.
He said I was being selfish and that I was never to set foot inside the house again.
And so I haven't.
I wonder if you can understand any of this. I know it will be difficult for you.
I thought I was doing what was best for all of us. I used to have dreams that everything was going to get better. Do you remember how you used to say you wanted to be an astronaut? I used to have dreams that you were an astronaut. And you were on television, and I thought, that's my son. I wonder what it is you want to be now. Has it changed? Are you still doing math? I hope so. Oh, it's love. Your mom.
Christopher! What the hell are you doing? What are you... These are... Oh shit. Oh Christ. It was an accident? I don't know what to say. I said she was in the hospital because I didn't know how to explain it. It was so complicated. And then once I said that, I couldn't change it. It's just, it got out of control. Oh, Jesus, Christopher. You got sick all over you. Let's set you up, get your clothes off, get you to bed. I'm gonna have to touch you, but it's gonna be all right. Look, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I want you to know that you can trust me. Life is difficult, you know. It's bloody hard, telling the truth all the time. But I want you to know that I'm trying. You have to know that I'm going to tell you the truth from now on. About everything. Because if you don't tell the truth now, later on, it hurts. Even more. So, I killed Wellington, Christopher. Just let me explain. When your mom left, Eileen, Mrs. Shears, she was very good to me. She helped me through a very difficult time, and I'm not sure I would have made it without her. Well, you know how she's around here most days, popping over, see if we were okay, if we needed anything. Well, I thought, oh, Christopher, try to keep it simple. I thought we were friends. I guess I thought wrong. We argued. She said some things I'm not going to say to you because they were not nice. But they hurt. But I think she cared more for that bloody dog than for us. Maybe it's not so stupid looking back. Maybe it's easier living on your own, looking after some stupid mutt, rather than sharing your life with other actual human beings. I mean, we're not exactly low maintenance, are we? Anyway, we argued. We had fights. Well, quite a few fights, to be honest. But after this particularly nasty little blowout, she chucked me out the house. And you know what the bloody dog was like? Nice as pie one moment, roll over, tickle its stomach, sink its teeth into your legs the next. So we were arguing, we were yelling, and it's in the garden. So when she slams the door behind me, bugger's waiting for me. And I know, maybe if I just get a kick, it probably would have backed up, but shit, Christopher, when the red mist comes down, Christ, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, we're not that different, me and you. It's like everything I've been bottling up for 2 years, just... I promise you, I never meant it to turn out like this. Okay, look, Christopher, I'm sorry. Let's leave this for tonight. I'm gonna go downstairs. You get some sleep. We'll talk about this in the morning. It's gonna be all right. Trust me.
Two, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2014, 2096, 4096, 4096.
Father had murdered Wellington. That meant he could murder me. I had to make a decision. I did this by thinking of all the things that I could do and deciding whether they were the right decision or not.
Stay home.
I decided I couldn't stay home anymore.
Christopher, please.
No, I can't live with you anymore because it is dangerous. I can't go and stay with you because you can't look after me when school is closed.
I could try.
No, because you're a teacher,
Yes.
not a friend or a member of my family.
You could come and stay with your Uncle Terry.
You live in Sunderland. I don't know how to get to Sunderland.
Get the train. Get the train from Swindon.
Also, you smoke cigarettes and you stroke my hair. You're not a friend either.
I think I am a friend.
No, and I can't go and live with you or use your toilet because you've used it and you're a stranger.
I'm not really a stranger, Christopher.
Yes.
451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road, London, NW2 5NG. 451C, Chapter Road.
London NW2 5NG.
Christopher, I want to ask you something. Mrs. Gascoigne wondered if we would like to do a play this year. And she asked me to ask everybody if we would like to make a kind of performance for the school. Everybody could join in and play a part.
I think it would be a really good thing for everybody to join in and play a part in it.
And I was wondering if you'd like to make a play out of your book.
No.
I think it could be really good fun, Christopher.
I think it could be really good fun.
No, it's a book, and it's for me, not for everybody, just for me.
Well, I know that, but I think a lot of people would be interested in what would happen if people took your book and started acting bits out of it.
No, I don't like acting because it is pretending that something is real and actually it isn't real at all. So it is kind of like a lie.
But people like stories. Some people find things which are kind of true and things that are made up. You like your Sherlock Holmes stories? And you know that Sherlock Holmes isn't a real person, don't you? I could help you if you were worried about that.
No.
I think I'd rather like to take the part of the policeman.
You're too old to play a policeman.
Christopher! Christopher!
Christopher, what on earth has happened to you?
Can you look after Toby for me?
Oh,
He eats special pellets and you can buy them from a pet shop and he needs fresh water every day too.
why do you need somebody to look after Toby for you, Christopher?
Or I'm going to live with Mother.
I thought you told me your mother was dead.
I thought she was dead, but really she was alive. And Father lied to me. Also, he killed Wellington.
Is your mother here?
No, Mother is in London.
So you're going to London on your own?
I think I'm going to do that, yes.
Where's your father at the moment, Christopher?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we should try and give him a ring and see if we can get in touch with him. I'm sure he's worried about you. And I'm sure that there's been a terrible misunderstanding.
Three five five eight.
3558.
3558.
3558.
3558.
3558. Where can I buy a map?
A map of where?
I don't know.
Well, where are you trying to get to?
Oh, I'm going to the train station.
Oh, you don't need a map to get to the train station. You can see it from here.
No, I can't.
Well, you see that building over there? It says Signal Point at the top. There's a British Rail sign on the other end, and the station's at the bottom of that.
Do you mean the stripy building with the horizontal windows you can see poking out of those houses?
That's the one.
How do I get to that building?
All right, we're done here.
I knew that the train station was somewhere near, and you can find something that is nearby if you go in a spiral, walk clockwise, and take every right turn until you end up on a road that you have already walked on, and then take the next left and every right, and so on. And that is how I found the train station.
No alcohol must be carried. I-P-P. Drugs must be carried. Drugs must be carried at all times.
You all right, young man?
You're too old.
Are you all right, young man?
No.
You're looking a bit worse for wear. Lady at the cafe said you were in a complete trance when she tried talking with you. What's your name?
Christopher Boone,
Christopher? Where do you live?
36 Randolph Street.
What are you doing here?
I need to sit down and think and be quiet.
Okay, let's keep it simple. What are you doing at the railway station?
I'm going to see Mother.
Mother?
Yes, Mother.
When's your train?
I don't know. She lives in London. I don't know when there is a train to London.
So you don't live with your mother then?
No, but I'm going to.
Well then, where's your mother live?
In London.
I know that. Where in London?
451C Chapel Road, London, NW25NG.
What is that?
This is Toby, my pet rat. He's very clean and he hasn't got bubonic plague.
Well, that's very reassuring.
Yes.
You got a ticket?
No.
So precisely we get into London then?
I have a bank card.
Is that your card?
No, it's Father's.
Oh.
Yes, Father's. He told me the number. It's 3
Hey!
5.
Why don't you now take a stroll to the cash machine, eh?
You mustn't touch me.
Why would I touch you?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because I got a caution for hitting a policeman, but I didn't mean to hurt him, so if I do it again, it'll be much worse this time because of the caution.
Please insert your card.
You're serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Enter your personal identification number.
Well, then you can lead the way.
Where?
Back by the ticket office.
Please enter amount, £10, £20, £50, £100.
How much does a ticket to London cost?
20 quid.
Please wait, your transaction is being processed.
Is that pounds?
Yeah, that's pounds.
Please take your card and wait for your cash.
Where do I buy a ticket for the train?
It's in there.
I want to go to London.
If you don't mind,
I want to go to London.
single or return?
What does single or return mean?
Do you want to go one way or do you want to come back?
I want to stay there when I get there.
For how long?
Until I go to university.
Single then. That'll be £17.
When is the train to London?
Platform 1, 5 minutes.
Where is platform 1?
Through the underpass and up the stairs. You'll see the signs.
Underpass means tunnel, Christopher. In your head, imagine a big red line across the floor. It starts at your feet and it goes through the tunnel, and walk along that line. And count the rhythm in your head, because that helps, doesn't it? Like when you're doing music or doing drumming. Left, right, left,
Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Is this the train to London?
Christopher! Oh, got you in time. We got your dad at the police station. He's looking for you. Okay. Let's not get overexcited here. I'm gonna take you down to the station, and me, you, your dad can have a nice little chat about who's going where.
Have you arrested father?
Arrested him? For what?
For killing Wellington. Wellington is a dog.
We can talk about that when we get there, but for now, young man, I think you've had quite enough adventuring for one day. Now listen, you little monkey! Shit!
Why are you swearing? Have we started? Has the train started?
Don't move. Rob? It's Nigel. Stuck here on the bloody train. Yeah, don't even. Listen, it stops at Didcot Parkway. Can you get someone to meet me there with a car? Cheers. Now, Joe's out of Golden, but it's gonna take a minute. Thanks. Alright, let's find ourselves a seat. Park yourself. Oh, you're a handful, aren't you?
I can see everything. Most other people are lazy. They never look at everything. They do what is called glancing, which is the same word for bumping off of something and carrying on in almost the same direction. And the information in their heads is very simple. For example, if they were on a train looking out of the window into a countryside, it might be 1.
There are some cows in the field.
2.
It's sunny with a few clouds.
3.
Some flowers in the grass.
4.
But there's a village in the distance.
And then they would stop noticing anything because they'd be thinking about something completely different, like,
I wonder if Julie has given birth yet.
or,
I'm worried that I might have left the oven on.
or,
I really want a bag of cheese and Doritos.
but when I look out of the window of a train into the countryside, I notice everything. For example, 1, there are 19 cows in the field, 15 of which are black and white, and 4 of which are brown and white. 2, there are 3 different visible nimbostratus clouds. 3, there is a village in the distance with 32 different visible houses. There is a plastic bag in the hedge. 2, there is a crushed Coca-Cola with a snail on it. I can see 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 different types of the cows are. I can see 3, no 4. There is a snail. There is a Coca-Cola. The cows.
Oi!
are missing.
You're wetting yourself! Go to the toilet!
That's why I'm on a train.
You know, there are toilets on trains.
Where's the toilet on the train?
It's in there. But I'll have my eye on you, you understand?
No.
Let's go to the toilet.
Two, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41,
Christopher!
43, 47, 53, 59, 61, 67,
Christopher!
71, 73, 79.
Bloody hell.
You scared me. But I just get my bag. There's someone out there on the platform looking for you.
I know.
It's your funeral.
You're touching my bag.
Yes.
Come and look at this, Barry. They've got like a train elf.
We've both been drinking.
We should kidnap him.
Make him our mascot.
Come on. Shift it, you stupid idiot.
Bollocks, that's not my bag.
Yes, yes, I'm coming. Just wait for me in the car park.
I waited for 9 more minutes, but nobody else came by, and the train was very quiet, and I didn't feel us move again, so I found out that the train had stopped, and I knew that the last stop on the train was London, so I got off the train. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left,
Right.
You lost? Hey!
left, right, left, right, left. Is this London?
Indeed it is.
How do I get to 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG?
What is that?
It's 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG. And sometimes you can write it as 451C Chapter Road, Willesden, London, NW25NG.
And, take the tube to Wilston Junction or Wilson Grange. Gotta be around there somewhere.
What is a tube?
Are you for real? See that staircase back there? The escalators? See the sign says underground? Take the Bakerloo line to Wilston Junction. Or Jubilee line to Wilson Grange. You alright?
Christopher, don't do this.
Get away from me.
Christopher, you won't be able to.
I am doing very well.
Where's your Swiss Army knife? Have you lost it?
It's in my pocket.
Where's your red line gone to? It's disappeared, hasn't it? How are you going to get to the Jubilee line? You don't even know what an escalator is.
It's a moving staircase. You step onto it and it carries you down. Look. It's funny.
Stop laughing.
It's like something out of science fiction.
I'm worried about you.
We're lying. You killed Wellington.
Where are you going?
Watch the people. It's easy, look. You go to the black machine, you put your money in.
You haven't got any money.
I have, I stole your card.
You bullshit!
You take to the Great Gate. You tell it where you want to go.
There's no Jubilee line. How are you going to get to Willesden Green?
There's a Bakerloo line, look. I can take that to get to Willesden Junction.
Come back home.
Swindon's not my home anymore. My home is 451C Chapter Road, London, NW25NG.
Stand behind the yellow line.
I know.
The train's going to be very noisy.
I know.
It's going to really scare you.
I know.
Try not to let it. Count the trains. Figure it out. Get the rhythm right. Train coming. Train stop. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stop. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stop.
Doors open. Train going. Silence. Train coming. Train stop. Doors open. Train going. Silence. Toby? Toby? Toby, where are you? Toby? Toby, what are you doing down there? Toby, get back up here this instant, Toby! Right, I'm coming down there, and when I find you, Toby, I'm going to be very cross.
Oi, what are you doing?
I'm finding my rat.
Get out of there, for Christ's sake!
It's filthy down here, Toby. You'll get so dirty.
Oh my days, what is he doing?
What does it look like he's doing?
Well, don't just stand there, call for somebody, get some help!
Please, get out of there!
I can't get out if your rat is down here.
What?
Mate, please, you're gonna get yourself killed!
You're gonna have to go down there and get him!
Me? What's it gonna do with me?
But he's a kid, you can't just let him get hit!
I can tease a kid, I can bloody well see that!
Oh, Jesus!
Don't panic, I found him.
Well, help him then, you muppet!
Oh, shit! What the fuck you think you were playing at?
I was finding Toby. He's my pet rat.
Bloody Nora.
Is he alright?
The pet rat, Jesus Christ. I can't believe this was happening. God damn. Oh, my train, shit, fuck.
Are you alright? Okay, is there anything I can do to help?
Stand farther away from me. I've got a Swiss Army knife, and it has a saw blade, and it could cut someone's finger off.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no.
Door's open. Is this the train to Williston Junction? Is this the train to Williston Junction? Is this the train to Williston Junction?
Ida Vale, Gilbert Park, Queens Park, Kensal Green, Wilson Junction.
How do I get to 451C Chapter of London NW25NG?
A to Z map of London, £5.95. I'm not a walking encyclopedia.
Is that the A to Z?
No, it's a bloody chihuahua.
Is that the A to Z?
Yes, it's the A to Z.
Can I buy it?
£5.95. But you're giving me the money first. I'm not having you thieving.
Left, right, left, right, left, right.
I don't care whether you thought it was funny or not.
Judy, look, I'm sorry, okay?
Well, perhaps you should have thought of that before you made me look like a complete idiot.
You weren't in, so I waited for you.
Christopher?
What?
Christopher!
What the hell's going on?
Sorry, Christopher.
I suppose this means Ed's here.
Where's your father, Christopher?
He's in Swindon, I think.
Thank God for that.
But how did you get here?
I came on the train.
Oh my God. I didn't think... But why are you here on your own? Christopher, you're soaking... Roger, don't just stand there.
Are you going to come in? You're going to stand out here all night.
I'm going to come in with you because Father killed Wellington with a garden fork.
Jumping Jack Christ!
Roger, please. Come on, Christopher, let's go inside and get you dried off.
Come on then, soldier. You'll catch your death out here.
You follow Roger.
Do you have any food he can have? He's very hungry, and some fresh water too.
Are you okay, Christopher?
I'm tired.
I know, love. I can get you a blanket.
No, don't. I have a sleeping bag in my backpack.
Will you let me help you get your clothes off? I can get you a clean t-shirt. You can get yourself into bed. T-shirt. Pass me a t-shirt. You are very brave.
Yes?
You never wrote to me, Christopher.
I know.
Why didn't you write to me, Christopher? I wrote you all of those letters. I kept thinking something dreadful happened to you or you moved away and I would never know where you were.
Father said you were dead.
What?
He said that you had something wrong with your heart and that you went into hospital, and while you were in the hospital you had a heart attack and you died.
Oh my God. Oh.
Why are you doing that?
I'm sorry, Christopher.
What?
Bastard. That bastard! You let me hold your hand. Just once. Just for me, will you? I won't hold it hard.
I don't like people holding my hand.
No. Okay, that's okay.
I need to speak to Christopher Boone.
He's been through enough today already.
I understand that. Please, Christopher Boone, open up the door.
Come on, Christopher.
Christopher, love, it's all right. Just open the door, will you, sweetheart?
Is he going to take me away?
No, Christopher, he isn't.
Are you going to let him take me away?
No, I won't.
Your father says you ran away. Is that true?
Yes.
Is this your mother?
Yes.
Why did you run away?
Because Father killed Wellington with a garden fork, and that meant that he could kill me.
So I've heard. Do you want to stay? Do you want to go back to Swindon, or do you want to stay here with your mom?
I want to stay here.
And how do you feel about that?
I want to stay here.
Hang on, I'm talking to your mother.
He told Christopher I was dead.
Well, I don't care who said what. I
Of
just want to know whether.
course he can stay.
Well, I think that about settles it.
Is he going to take me back to Swindon?
No. And if your husband comes by and gives you any trouble, just give us a ring. Otherwise, you're going to sort this out amongst yourselves.
I'm talking to her whether you like it
Roger,
or not.
don't just...
I'm not going to be spoken to like that in my own home.
I'm gonna talk to you how I damn well like.
You have no right to be here.
He's my son, in case you forgot.
And what in God's name were you thinking you were playing at, saying those things to him?
Now let's just all calm down here, shall we?
You were the one who bloody left.
So you decided to just wipe me out of his life altogether.
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
I wrote him every week.
What the fuck use is writing him?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I cooked his meals. I cleaned his clothes. I looked after him every weekend. I looked after him when he was ill. I took him to the doctor. I made myself sick every time he wandered off in the middle of the night somewhere. I went to school every time he got in a fight. You, what? You wrote him some fucking letters.
So you thought it was okay to tell him his mother was dead?
Now is not the time.
I'm gonna see him, and if you try and stop me...
It's okay, Christopher. I won't let him do anything, I promise.
Christopher, I'm really, really sorry about the letters. I never meant it to. I promise I'll never do anything like that again. Oh shit, Christopher, please!
Mr. Boone!
What the hell are you doing here? Did you call him?
Mate, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me.
Don't you mate me. This is my son.
Look, this is going to be all sorted out at the station, but for right now, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me.
Ed, you should go. He's frightened.
I'll be back. Christopher, I'll be back. I promise you, Christopher. I promise you, lad.
You go back to sleep now. Everything's going to be all right, I promise.
Okay, he can stay for a few days.
He can stay for as long as he needs to stay.
This flat's hardly big enough for 2 people, let alone 3.
He can understand what you're saying, you know.
What's he going to do? There's no school for him to go to. We've both got jobs. It's bloody ridiculous.
Roger, that's enough. You can stay as long as you want to stay.
Wait. It was Mother who gave me the milkshake. It was Mother who gave me the milkshake, not you. And you need to yell at him more loudly, like you're really angry at him and not just being nice.
Okay. Roger, that's enough! You can stay as long as you want to stay.
I have to go back to Swindon.
Christopher, you only just got here.
I have to go back so that I can sit in at my maths A level.
You're doing maths A level?
Yes, I'm taking it Wednesday and Thursday and Friday of next week.
Oh, God, Christopher, that's really good.
Yeah.
But I can't go and stay with Father, so I have to go back with you.
I don't know whether that's going to be possible.
But I have to go back.
Let's talk about it some other time, okay?
Okay, but I have to go back to Swindon.
Christopher, please.
What time is it?
7 minutes past 2 in the morning.
I can't sleep.
It's because you're scared of Mr. Shears. You're being silly.
There's nobody about. You can hear traffic.
What cars are there?
A Fiesta, a Peugeot, a Ford Granada, a Mini Cooper.
What colors are they?
I can't tell. I can only see orange and black and mixtures of orange and black.
Look at the things that people have in their front garden.
Oh yes. Is that an elf?
It's a gnome. And a teddy bear. And a little pond. Look!
I like looking at the sky.
Me too.
I like looking at the sky at night because when you look at the sky at night, you know you're looking at stars which are millions of light years away from you, and some of them don't even exist anymore because their light has taken so long to get to you that they've already died or have exploded or collapsed into red dwarfs, and that makes you feel very small. And it is nice to think that if you have any problems, that they are what is called negligible, which means that they are so small that you don't have to take them into account while calculating something. I can't see any stars here.
No.
It's because of all the light pollution in London. All the lights from the car headlights and the street lights and the floodlights and the lights of buildings reflect off of tiny particles in the atmosphere, and they get in the way of the light of the stars.
Christopher?
I have to go.
Don't.
I have to.
Christopher!
Siobhan. Siobhan, where are you?
Christopher!
Siobhan!
Christopher! Jesus Christ, what are you doing out here? I've been looking everywhere for you. I thought you'd gone. If you ever do that again, I swear to God, Christopher, I love you, but I just don't know what I would do. You need to promise me you will not leave that flat on your own again, Christopher. Christopher, do you promise me that?
Yes.
You can't trust people in London. Would you like an ice lolly?
Yes, I would, please.
Would you like a strawberry one?
Yes, I would, please, because that is red. What's it called, dear?
It's called Hampstead Heath. I love it. You can see all over London.
Where are the planes going?
Heathrow, I think. Christopher, I rang Mrs. Gascoigne. I told her you'd be taking your maths A-level next year. Christopher, please. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Just calm down, love. It's okay. It's okay.
Here we are. You wanted a radio? 100 numbered puzzles. It's from the library. This one is called Origins of the Universe. And this one is Nuclear Power.
They're for children.
Well, it's nice to know my contribution is appreciated.
Christopher, I I made you a chart. Because you've got to eat love. This is Slim Fast and it's strawberry flavored.
Slim Fast?
Be quiet, Roger. If you drink 200 milliliters, you put a bronze star on the chart.
I don't believe this.
Roger, for God's sake, please. If you drink 400 milliliters, a silver star.
Ha!
If you drink 600 milliliters, a gold star.
Gold star. Well, that's very original, I have to say. You think you're so clever, don't you? Don't you ever think about other people for 1 second, eh? Well, I bet you're really pleased with yourself now, aren't you?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I promise this will never happen again.
What time is it?
It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
What are you doing?
I'm packing some clothes.
Where is Mr. Shears?
He's asleep. Come downstairs, bring Toby, and get in the car.
Into Mr. Shears' car?
That's right.
Are you still in the car?
I'm just borrowing it.
Where are we going?
We're going home.
Do you mean home in Swindon?
Yes.
Or are we going back so that I can take my Maths A level?
What?
I meant to be taking my Maths A level tomorrow.
We're going back to Swindon because if we stay in London any longer, someone is going to get hurt. Now, I need you to be quiet for a little while.
How long do you need me to be quiet for?
Jesus! A half an hour, Christopher. I need you to be quiet for a half an hour.
The fuck did you get in here?
It's my house too, in case you've forgotten.
Is your fancy man here as well?
Christopher! Christopher! He's gone. You don't need to panic.
Where has he gone to?
He's going to stay at a friend's house for a little while.
Is he going to be arrested and go to jail?
What for?
For killing Wellington?
I don't think so. I think he would only get arrested if Mrs. Shears presses charges.
What is that?
It's when you tell the police to arrest someone for little crimes. They only arrest people for little crimes if you ask them.
Is killing Wellington a little crime?
Yes, love, it is. In the next few weeks, we're going to have to try and find a place of our own to live in.
Can I still take my A level?
You're not listening to me, are you, Christopher?
I am listening to you.
I told you already. I rang your headmistress. I told her you were in London. I told her you'd be taking it next year.
But I'm here now, so I can take them.
I didn't know you were going to come back here. I'm sorry, Christopher. This isn't going to solve anything.
Well, look who it is.
Where are we going?
What a nerve, strutting around here as though nothing ever happened.
Ignore her, Christopher.
So, he's finally dumped you too, has he?
What's Mrs. Shears doing?
Well, you had it coming. Don't try and pretend you didn't, because you fucking did.
Where are we going?
We're going to the school.
So, you're Christopher's mother.
That's right. And you are...
Oh, I'm Siobhan. It's nice to meet you.
Yes. Nice to meet you, too.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello.
Are you okay?
I'm tired.
He's a bit upset.
Because of the A-level, you said?
He won't eat. He won't sleep.
Yeah. I spoke to Mrs. Gascoigne after you called. She still actually has your A-level papers in the 3 sealed envelopes at her desk.
I still actually have the A-level papers in my desk.
Does that mean that I can still take my A-level?
I think so. We're going to call the Reverend Peters to make sure he can still come in this afternoon and be your supervisor. And Mrs. Gascoigne is going to call the examination board and let them know that you are going to take the exam after all. I just thought I should let you know now so you could think about it.
Think about what?
Is this what you want to do, Christopher? If you say you don't want to, no one will be angry with you. And it won't be illegal or wrong or stupid. It will just be what you want, and that will be fine.
I want to do it.
Okay. How tired are you?
Very.
How's your brain when you think about maths?
I don't think it works very well.
What's the logarithmic formula for the approximate number of prime numbers not greater than x?
I can't think.
So this is jolly exciting, eh, Christopher? I'm excited anyway. You have 2 hours to complete the exam. First thing you want to do is pop your name on the front there. Alright, young man, you ready to roll? Turn your first paper over. And begin.
One, 8, 27, 64, 343, 512, 729, 1,000, 1,313.
Are you alright, Christopher?
I can't read the question.
What do you mean?
I can't read the question.
Can you see the question?
I can see the question, but when I look at the words, I can't read them because they look all messed up and the wrong way around to me.
Right.
What does that question say?
Christopher, I'm sorry, I can't help you like that.
Christopher, stop groaning. Get your breath. Count the cubes of the cardinal numbers again.
1, 8, 27, 64, 125, 343, 512, 729, 1,000, 1,331.
Now, have another go.
Show that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form of n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n, where n is greater than 1, is right-angled.
You don't have to tell us.
What?
You don't have to tell us how you solved it.
But it's my favourite question.
Yeah, but it's not very interesting.
I think it's interesting.
Christopher, people won't want to hear about the answer to a maths question in a play. Look, why don't you tell it after curtain call? When you've finished, you can take a bow, and the people who want to can go home. And if anybody wants to stay and find out how you solved the maths problem, then they can, and you can tell them at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Don't scream, okay, Christopher, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just wanna ask you how the exam went.
Tell him, Christopher. Please, Christopher.
I don't know if I got all the questions right, because I was very tired and I hadn't eaten anything, so I wasn't thinking properly.
Thank you.
For what?
Just thank you. I'm very, very proud of you, Christopher. I'm sure you did really well.
How's your flat?
It's not really a flat, it's a room. It's very small. The corridor is painted brown. Other people use the toilet. Mother has to wash it before I can use it. And sometimes there are people in there, so I do it myself. And the room smells like socks and pine air freshener. And another bad thing is that Toby died. This is because he was 2 years and 7 months old, which is very old for a rat. I don't like waiting for my A-level results.
Yeah.
Mother doesn't get home from work until 5:30, so I have to stay at Father's from 3:49 until 5:30 because I'm not allowed to be on my own. Mother says I don't have a choice. So I push the bed up against the door in case Father tries to come in. Sometimes he tries to talk to me through the door. I don't answer him. Sometimes he sits very quietly on the other side of the door. Can I come and live with you so that I can have a proper toilet and I have room to put all my things?
No, Christopher. You can't.
Why can't I? Is it because sometimes I am noisy and difficult to control?
No! It's because I'm not your mother.
No.
That's very important. Do you understand that?
I don't know.
Christopher, can I ever talk with you?
No. No, you can't, no.
It's okay, I'll be right here.
I don't want to talk to Father.
Okay, I'll do you a deal, okay? 5 minutes, that's all. Christopher, I don't know about you, but things can't go on like this. This just hurts too much. You have to learn to trust me. I don't care how long it takes. If it takes a minute one day, and 2 minutes the next, and 3 minutes the next, and it takes years. I don't care, because this is important. This is more important than anything. Let's call it a project. A project that we have to do together. And I have to show you that you can trust me. And it'll be hard because it's a hard project. But it'll get easier, I promise. And I brought you a present to show you that I really mean what I say. And because I'm sorry. And, well, you'll see what I mean. 2 months old. Christopher, I would never do anything to hurt you.
You can't take him away with you, I'm afraid. The flat's too small. But your father is going to look after him here, and you can come and take him for walks whenever you want.
Does he have a name?
No. You can decide what to call him.
Sandy? He's called Sandy.
We need to go now.
Yes.
We can come back tomorrow, and you can see him then.
Christopher?
Yes?
Here,
What is this?
it's your results.
Right.
You have to open it and read it.
Right.
Well, what does it say?
I got an A star.
Oh! Oh, that's terrific.
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes, it is the best result.
I know it is. How's your dog?
He's very well, thank you. I had to stay at Father's last week because Mother got sick with the flu, and he slept on my bed so he could bark at anyone in case they tried to come into my room at night.
Right. How are you getting along with your father?
He planted a vegetable patch in his garden. I helped, and Sandy watched. We planted peas and carrots and spinach, and we're going to pick them when they're ready. And he bought me a book called Further Maths for A-Level, and he told Mrs. Gascoigne that I'm going to take further maths next year, and she said, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take it, and I'm going to get an A star, and then I'm going to take A-level physics, and I'm going to get an A star, and then I will go to university in another town, and I can take Sandy and my computer and my books, and I'll live on my own flat with a proper toilet and a garden, and then I will get my first class honours degree, and I will become a scientist. I can do these things.
I hope so.
I can, because I went to London on my own. I solved the mystery of who killed Wellington. I found Mother. I was brave.
You were.
And I wrote a book.
I know. I read it. We turned it into a play.
Yes. Does that mean that I can do anything, do you think? Does that mean that I can do anything, Siobhan? Does that mean that I can do anything?
All right, Christopher, it's the end.
Thank you all very much for coming to the show, and for clapping your hands, and for staying behind so that I could explain to you my maths A-level equation. Siobhan said that it might not be very interesting, but I think that it is. Also, she didn't tell me exactly how I should explain it to you, so I've decided to use flashcards of my own design to show you how I solved this equation. I had 2 hours to solve 19 equations, but I spent 38 minutes moaning and groaning, which meant that I only had 4 minutes to solve this equation. So, my time starts now. The question was, show that a triangle with sides that can be written in the form of n squared plus 1, n squared minus 1, and 2n where n is greater than 1 is right angled. Firstly, a right triangle implies that one of its angles is a right angle, which means it is 90 degrees, and therefore the triangle follows Pythagoras' theorem of a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Simply put, this means if you drew squares on the outside of all three sides of the triangle, the areas of the two smaller squares would add up to the area of the third largest square. So, if we take 2n and multiply it by itself, we get 4n squared. This is the area of the first smaller square. Then, if we take n squared minus 1 and multiply it by itself, we get n to the fourth minus 2n squared plus 1. This is the area of the second smaller square. Then, if we take n squared plus 1 and multiply it by itself, we get n squared plus 2, n to the fourth plus 2n squared plus 1. This is the area of the third largest square. Finally, if we add up 4n squared and n to the fourth minus 2n squared plus 1, we also get n to the fourth plus 2n squared plus 1. This is the same term, which means the two smaller squares do in fact add up to the third largest square, which means that this triangle is a right triangle. And that is how I got my A star.